Honestly, we're at the point where I truly have no idea what to expect out of the Avs in any given game at any given time. Yes, there's some randomness to hockey at all times, but the Avs are really taking it to a different level. Avs win over the Detroit Red Wings 2-1. Nothing about this team would shock me. Yes, they just spent a month having bad first periods, and then they win one tonight. Not because they played particularly well as a team, they just happened to score the goal and actually got good goaltending, which is another completely random thing. On any given night, it almost doesn't even matter who the goaltender is. They might play great, they might play horribly. It's been a lot more horrible for most of the year, but there have been stretches from multiple goaltenders that have been at least very good. Their offense is crazy mind-boggling. Sometimes they have the best players in the world that are literally unstoppable. Sometimes those players disappear. Sometimes their depth shows up, sometimes it doesn't. That's a little bit more normal, at least. Sometimes their defense is their best offense. Sometimes their defense is their worst defense. Nothing makes any sense. I don't know. They're capable of comebacks that very few teams in history have ever pulled off, and they're capable of losing any game at seemingly any time in seemingly any way. I don't really know. I can't figure it out. What I do know is I think the Avs' second line is finally starting to figure it out. Getting Ross Colton back obviously helps that, but I think it's more Val Nichushkin finding his way all the way back to the best version of himself, at least on the ice, that he can be. That is what gets the Avs on the board first. Quick and easy breakout for the Avs. Gerard is going to get this up to Nichushkin, and it's a free zone entry because Detroit is just playing quite soft. So Nichushkin says, if you're going to play soft, I'm going to come at you. He tries to cut to the middle. The initial shot doesn't go very well. It gets blocked, but it gets rebounded through, and Nichushkin continues to battle and is able to find it and take advantage of a good bounce. From there, he's right in the middle of the slot. I guess he's a little above the hashes, so technically the high slot. But still, this is a dangerous area of the ice, and he's able to get the second attempt through clean and finish strong. There's some good fortune there, getting that puck back and having a second opportunity, for sure. I don't think it's played particularly well by Ville Husso either. And I don't care about either of those things. Bounces go both ways. We see it happen all the time on the other end of the ice. This time the Avs got one, and they were able to maintain it. That's what's key. When the bounces go your way, get a lead, hold on to it, do your job. When they go against you, you have to overcome them. Overcoming them can be tough, but if you're getting the bounces, you have to win those games. If you're losing those ones, you're in deep trouble. Thankfully, that's what the Avs did. This first period was pretty average. I really don't think it was that bad. It just also wasn't that good. And this new thing where the Avs are bad in the second period is not my favorite thing in the world. The second period was terrible. They got dominated by the Detroit Red Wings, which is one of the worst possession teams in hockey. That's not good enough. Don't get me wrong. They won the game, which is all that really matters. But process-wise, you take a good hard look at that second period and go, what happened here? Despite that, they get put on the power play early. And even though your stars really didn't have a very good night, when you give them an opportunity, sometimes they finish even when they're struggling. The Avs do win a faceoff here. It is possible. They can do it. Maybe it's because it's against an ex-Av and JT Compher, but they do win a faceoff. It ultimately doesn't lead directly to anything, but the puck does not leave the zone after that faceoff. From that point on, the Avs are able to possess the puck well. They keep it on the perimeter for the most part, don't get anything too dangerous initially, but once they get set up, they're able to work the puck not super effectively, but eventually you give opportunities to the best players in the world and they'll own you. Makar and McKinnon are able to work the high man very, very well off of each other, which gives Makar space. He finds a shooting lane. He lets it go. You have the good screen in front. This is a good setup. Maybe not the most dangerous play in the world, but sometimes good setups score you goals. Honestly, this game feels like how the Avs should have been winning games a lot more often this season. Grind it out, do the hard work. Even if you have ups and downs, you keep it steady enough that you don't give up too much, and you rely on your superstars to make you one big play that makes the difference. Usually that big play comes later in the game, but the game-winning goal gets scored in the early minutes of the second period. As I said, the Avs do not play particularly well through the second, and credit to Georgiev throughout this game. He only gives up one goal. That's a very good goaltending performance on any night. There's no arguing with that. The Avs do give one back in the second period, though. Detroit ultimately winning a battle deep in the Avs zone allows them an offensive possession, and Larkin does a good job to do this by himself for the most part. Forces the Avs to chase him a little bit. McKinnon gets caught a little bit behind the play and then just throws a puck through, and you can see there's chaos in front. 4 bodies. Even for me, who doesn't believe in screens as much as a lot of people, it's going to be tough to fight through, and it ends up in the back of your net. I've been waiting a long time to talk about this because I kept seeing the other side of it where Georgiev gives up some not great goals, and then he gives up some goals goals that he's not expected to stop. Tonight, he gives up 1 goal. I don't care if you think it's not great or if it's unstoppable. It does not matter. The way the goal happens is irrelevant. When you only give up 1, you did your job and then some. Any night, 1 goal goes in your net and you stop all the others. That's a fantastic job. And this is what the Avs have to start doing better. Not playing better in the second period. I mean, yes, they do need to do that, but they need to do a better job of surviving their lows. When they play poorly, they can't play so badly that the game falls apart and they end up down multiple goals. They score a goal in the second and they give up a goal in the second. If your worst period is a tied period on the scoreboard, you literally can't lose. And funnily enough, I think the one thing the Avs have been very consistent about is when they have a lead in the third period, they close it down and they win the game. We don't get to see it all that often because they regularly put themselves in a hole and have to force a comeback, which they're decent at that too. But when they have leads, they are usually the best team on the ice. That was no different in this game. They completely smothered Detroit into the third period, especially at 5-on-5. It was not close. The Avs were playing like the team that were behind, dominating in possession and shots, and Detroit generated almost nothing. That is what a good hockey team looks like. You can see the good hockey team in there, maybe even a great hockey team in there for the Avs underneath all the chaos, all the injuries, all the randomness, all the nonsense, all of the mistakes that they shouldn't be making, whatever it is. Underneath there is a team that can go on a run, that can make a deep playoff push. They have to find that team, though, and find it consistently. And they've got to find it fast. You should be there by the 20th game of the season. We're now quickly approaching the 30th. The Avs have it. They just have to get there. Quick short review. That's what 3-goal games will do. Thank you for watching. I am Rudo, and I don't know, man. Randomness is outrageous right now.